So we gotta be honest here. Just to preface, we kind of had an oopsie with all the filmings, and we might have lost the host point of view. So we're just here to just acknowledge that, and hopefully you still enjoy the episode. I just want to take time to honor UBC's Vancouver Point Grey campus as being situated on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Hunkaminam-speaking Musqueam peoples. While UBC recognizes its situation on their territories, what we colonially known as Vancouver is also shared with the Tsleil-Waututh and Squamish peoples. These stolen and unceded lands on which we work contributes to the ongoing dispossession and displacement of Indigenous folk on Turtle Island. I'll also like to honor that everyone is located in many places near and far and honor the traditional owners and caretakers of those lands. And also, another note before we continue is thank you so much to our sponsor for the episode, Hinbor. So what that is it's basically a pickup app of local food and drink places all over campus. Like any store that you see on campus, it'll probably be on Hinbor. And the best thing about it is you get discounts for anything that you order if you order through the app. And you should definitely download the app because who doesn't love discounts? And we're all students here. We don't want to lose our net worth every single time we buy a burger. So definitely check it out. Yeah. All right. So let's actually jump into the episode. Let's do some introductions. I'm host Irene. I'm in year 2 in integrated science.
And my name's Jeremy. I'm year 2 in computer science.
And we have our lovely hosts with us.
Hello.
Introduce yourselves, please.
My name is Sophia. I'm the Mental Health Advocacy Chair for SUS, and I'm a third-year biology student, and I'm super excited to be here today. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, I'm Parisa. I'm in my 4th year microbiology and immunology, and I'm the health and wellness co-chair at SUS. Yeah, thank you for having us. This is very exciting.
No, thank you for coming. We're so happy that you're here. Let's start with academic. I know we're all in the thick of it in midterm season. I feel like midterm season doesn't end. And we're all in SUS and probably other extracurriculars as well. How are you guys managing your academics and extracurriculars in the thick of it?
That's a great question. This has been said many times, but I think the best thing is probably time management.
Mm-hmm.
I stick to my calendar pretty well. I have my Google Calendar, and I also have those whiteboard calendars that you can get at the bookstore for $10, and I write all my due dates on there. Just figuring that out, having everything super clear when everything is due, I find that's super helpful for me.
Of course.
You're so dedicated. I only have Google Calendar. That's the only thing
that's
that
fair. That's fair.
That's a good thing, actually. Yeah. So this year it's kind of different for me because I'm in co-op. I'm not taking any classes.
Oh, right.
Yeah, which is fun. So that's kind of what I did for kind of my mental health and also academic wellness. I thought maybe I'm burning out. I need a break. And I'm going to work. I'm going to have some income, right? But yeah, I really love Google Calendar. It's I started using it last year and yeah, it saved my life. But yeah, what about you guys?
I just make my own grid on Google Docs, which is kind of crazy.
Wait,
I just like the control over it. It's nice. But, wait, so you're in co-op, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what are you doing for co-op?
I'm a research assistant, yeah, in a wet lab at BC Cancer. So, yeah, it's kind of hectic because, cancer research, right? It's many of the experiments failed.
So honored to have you today. Well, I guess since you're both part of working groups in SUS, what are some things that you're looking forward to as initiatives since we're on the topic of extracurriculars anyways?
So in September, we had a dog therapy event where we partnered with Loved at Last Dog Rescue. And we had some volunteers bring their puppies here, and they were super cute. And we had students who were able to pet the dogs and get some stress relief. And I think our 2 working groups are going to collab on that again and probably do an event in December. We actually have our meeting about that tomorrow. So stay tuned for another dog therapy event. So that's probably the biggest thing. Other than that, my working group has some initiatives, some social media campaigns that you could keep your eye out. We're also planning on developing a Piazza-like platform where you can ask us any questions that you have about mental wellness or any resources on campus and any sorts of stuff like that. So
Yeah.
keep an eye out.
Plug yourself. Where can we find you?
It's not up yet, but definitely keep an eye out on the SUS Instagram. We're still working on those initiatives. But yeah.
All right. Okay.
Very good.
What about you, Parisa? What does Hiwi have?
Yeah,
for us?
we're planning a lot. So like in previous years, I think Hiwi was mostly like concentrated on having physical activity events, but we realized health and wellness is much more, like as we were talking, academic wellness, nutrition, I don't know, social well-being, all of those stuff. So we're kind of focusing on other things. So yeah, we had an academic wellness event with profs. Like we had 5 profs from different departments at Science. Yeah, it was a really lovely, friendly chit chat with them. We asked them some like burning questions. We put them on spot. Oh, why do you have so many assignments? And yeah, they answered. They were really open to answering those questions. And yeah, that created a good space to like talk. But yeah, we're looking forward to more events, nutrition events. It's still in planning stage, but yeah, that's what we have.
Did you ever get the answer as to why they give so many assignments? I need to know.
Well, no. But yeah, they were like so I asked them a couple tips to like balance life and academic life, and their answer was actually really good. So yeah, I don't actually remember how they ended it, not really clear, but they were really passionate and compassionate about like their students, and at least that was reassuring for everyone. So yeah, I think that was the answer. But yeah.
All right. Yes.
Well, like, how would you guys balance all your assignments? Because I know I have a lot. Like, is there anything that stands out to you other than Google Calendar? Like, doing it early, doing it, like, last minute? Like, I don't know. Everyone does different things.
Yeah, I think for me, I like to do them a little bit earlier or at least spread them out through the week. I have I think 5 quizzes due this Friday. I guess the profs are piling it on before reading break or something. So I've been trying to do 1 per day. So by the time I get to Friday, I don't have a million things to do.
God.
But that can be hard sometimes if you have other stuff going on. So it's a bit of a challenge. And I think it has been a learning curve for me for sure since first year. Learning how to actually get all of those assignments in on time, how to time manage, how to not burn out, all that stuff. So.
And especially on the burnout too. The first year is really just it's a learning experience for you to
Absolutely.
see your limits and everything and all of that.
Yeah, I do see it does tend to be a common thing. You go into university and it's usually you're humbled a little bit, or at least that was my experience. And I've heard that from a lot of people, because in high school you're used to if you're at UBC, you're probably used to getting really high marks. And then if you take Math 100. Things happen.
No, the humbling continues, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, that's also true.
Yeah.
But once you get that bad mark and you're oh my gosh, I have to commit all my time to school, that's also a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because then you burn out, and yeah, it's all about balance, and it takes a while to get there, but as long as you are kind of mindful of where you're putting your time and making sure that you're contributing kind of an equal amount to both academics and personal life outside of that, I think that's important. I think it's very much doable.
No, for sure. For me, I like to do all of the smaller assignments first so that I'm less overwhelmed by the sheer amount, and I can just focus on the larger ones. So if I know I have a paper, then I'll do all the little quizzes and all the reading assignments and all of that beforehand on a day where I'm maybe more booked with classes, and then on the days where I'm not as booked with classes, then I can fully focus on things like that. Or like even if I have like a test coming up or midterm, then I'll like make sure all my assignments like around that time is done. I like on Canvas where they like show you all the upcoming due dates.
Yeah.
That's really helpful because like you get a gauge like when to do things, and I really like using the Canvas calendar. It's kind of underrated. But
yeah.
yeah, definitely do that. Look through it.
Thank you, Canvas calendar.
I didn't actually know it was a thing until
Oh, for real?
until like second year. Like my friend showed me. I was like, "What is that?" Like, and I was like, "I should use it more than I do. I still don't use it."
No,
that
how do
much.
you survive without it?
I don't know, man. Just somehow.
Pure willpower.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, then like where do you guys go on campus to like study or do your assignments? Like what are your favorite spots? Like give us all the tea.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if I want to give them away.
Don't gatekeep.
Yeah.
Gatekeeping twice at Cameron.
What about you?
Yeah, for me, last year, and so my first year was online, so I kind of started my first year and second year, if that makes sense, on campus. But like, I find the education library, it's like very cozy. It's very quiet. They do close at like 7 p.m., which is very unfortunate. They kick you out literally. But yeah. I really like it because it has like a pretty garden next to it, and you can see it's pretty old though. But yeah. Otherwise, IKB, if you want to get motivated, you'll go there and you'll see everyone is studying. So that's a good place, but it's always too busy, I think. Yeah, what about you, Henny? Don't gate.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
So I actually
for
have
the pod.
I actually have like a spreadsheet on Notion with all my study spots, and it has like 50 of them, and I give them like a 1 to 10 rating.
Wow.
It like includes cafes, libraries, and I've been doing it since first year, so there's quite a bit on there. I think the top ones right now, I think the law library is on there. I like the memorial room in Woodward. I don't know if you guys have been there. It's one with like the books. It's super cozy. It has like the really nice chairs, and it's like silent. Just good sometimes.
Okay. Least favorite?
Least favorite? Gosh, I don't remember. I think this is controversial, but I didn't like studying at Brecca because there were like
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
it was so crowded.
Mhm.
There were no outlets.
Yeah, outlets are very important.
Absolutely.
And yeah, for Brecca, I can't do it. I just get tempted by all the food, and I just eat and spend money, which we're not about.
Yeah, but my least favorite is Woodward. I don't like it. I don't know. It's kind of old. I get scared whenever I go there. I don't know. It's just yeah.
It does.
So
give me the
sorry, it's
heebie-jeebies.
controversial. Yeah,
Have you
I
guys
don't know.
Yeah.
have you been to like the basement of the IRC building? It's like if you go out of the lecture halls, it's super creepy.
Yeah.
Like,
think I've
I
been
totally
there
get that.
I have been there once, and I had to leave because my devices couldn't connect to the Wi-Fi. And I think that's another thing. Like, you have to know where the places are where you can have stable connection.
That's very
Because
true.
you don't want to see UBC Secure popping up like every 5 seconds.
Literally, bro.
Like, I just want to load this document, and I can't because the Wi-Fi keeps cutting out. So I hate the basements. And also, I hate my room as a study
Oh.
spot. I can never ever focus in my room. Yeah, and then I just like get tempted by my bed, and then I'm like, I'm just gonna move to my bed to study, and then it turns into a nap, which turns into sleep, and then I wake up the next morning. I'm like, oh wow, that's so nice that I got nothing done. So, yeah, sometimes I do gaslight myself into thinking that I can study in my room. Yeah, it never happens. So, what's your least favorite?
I go straight home to study. I'm so sorry, but I do like the nest is pretty chill. But there's like never any seats. Like, have y'all seen the nest?
Yeah. It's so weird here because there's so much open space, but not enough tables and outlets and chairs. I think that's my biggest gripe with UBC. There's not enough of thing, but there's like gorgeous buildings, gorgeous spaces, just not enough things where like students can use, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, the nest at lunch is like a war zone. No spots whatsoever. It's quite rough.
And for the microwave line too.
There's one actually on, I don't know if we're going to say that, but on fourth floor, there's one like behind all of the clubs rooms, and there's never a line there. You can just use that. But I know they added a couple microwaves on like the ground floor and next to the like sushi place. Have you ever been there? Yeah.
No,
New
I only
places.
just went in the basement.
Yeah, that one is like
Okay.
the worst. Yeah.
I know. But thank you for the tip.
No problem.
There's also a microwave in our building in Abdulada. So
Yeah.
little plug
Yeah.
coming out here. And also Sprouts Cafe has a microwave as well, which is, I don't know if you guys know, it's in the basement of the Life building. So
Okay.
ways to avoid those microwave lines.
Speaking of microwaves, do y'all like meal prep your lunches?
Yeah, meal prepping is hard, but I always bring my food. One, it's more cost friendly, right? We're all students and we need that, but it also takes a lot of time. I should say that. I live with my family, so maybe that's easier for me to like pack because we always have dinner. I always take the leftover and bring it as lunch. But I know living in residence, I don't know if you guys live in residence, but it's a challenge. You can get really overwhelmed. You don't eat well when you have midterms, finals, and you need to eat well, right? So yeah, that's something that like everyone should really care about. It's I don't know if you've seen the pyramid or like the food pyramid, but you should stick to that. You should have grains, you should have protein, you should have carbohydrates and all of that. But it's hard to manage. It's fine. I guess just a little help, like getting help, and asking the friends what they do, asking for tips, and yeah, finding affordable options on campus. Do you guys know any options on campus which is like good, affordable, healthy?
I really like Sprouts. Sprouts is really good food and like really awesome with like just whole foods. Like there's like a lot of veg in there, grains, and it's really affordable. There's a lot of baked goods as well. Another thing would be Himbor. Like there's a lot of cool things like down the main road, just outside of the nest. There's a lot of like good food places that I find that have like whole foods and like good food groups in their meals. Like there's poke, there's like sushi, not a lot of fast food, which is really nice. Like Jam Jar is really good because it's like delicious, and I feel like they include a lot of healthy ingredients into their food. And on Himbor, you get 15% off.
Yay!
So definitely check that app out because it does save a lot of like money and time because it is a pickup app, and you just like order whenever you can, and then it tells you when to pick it up. So it's really nice and convenient. Yeah, food is health. So.
Whoa! Look who's here.
Come in.
This is for Jeremy.
Oh gosh.
Here you go.
Thank you.
This is for Irene.
Thank you. That's okay.
Sophia.
Thank you.
Beautiful and Lisa. Thank you. And your straws are here.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you to Himbor.
What are your guys' go-to bubble tea flavors?
I really like the fruit teas. That's really nice. I haven't had like a nice milk tea in a while, so decided to try that out.
Oh, I just like the fruit smoothies, like a strawberry smoothie with like
Oh.
pearls.
How about you guys?
I have a peach green tea. That's usually my go-to. Coconut jelly. I'm a
Nice.
big Cha Time fan.
Yeah, I went with a classic Earl Grey milk tea. So,
Okay.
yeah, pretty boring, right? Okay, I don't know how to open this, but
Cheers.
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 sorry, it's dripping.
We should have done the challenge where you like close your eyes.
No.
Oh,
Well, I
that would
lost. It's
destroy
fine.
this table.
Okay.
Let's do it again now that Parisa's ready.
Yes, join us.
Okay, I'll try.
Thank you, Hinbor.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a highlight of my week. So far, it's been studying, sleep, studying.
Oh,
So, like, it's been a rough week. Definitely, like, to, like, my mental well-being. But I'm trying to, like, ease to the weekend, get to the weekend. Then it's reading break, at least from when we were filming this. So I'm so excited.
We're almost there, guys.
Yeah, right?
2 more days and it's reading break.
How do y'all cope with all of the stress with all the midterms coming up?
I think taking breaks is probably the most important thing. And the way I like to frame it, especially because in my earlier years, I was super, super focused on school. And I would be like, I can't take an hour to do something stress-free because that's an hour I'm losing on doing schoolwork. But if you think about it, taking that break makes you more productive in the long run. So it is actually contributing to your academic success. So thinking about it like that kind of makes me feel a little bit less guilty. And you shouldn't feel guilty, but you know, we all do sometimes when we're taking breaks. That's what helped me a lot.
Okay.
No, for sure. Like, I think like if you're deciding to take a break, you should commit to it, because I find that
Yeah.
right? Like sometimes I'm like, okay, I can't stare at my screen any longer. I need to take a break. But then when I take the break and I'm like 2 minutes in, I'm like, wait, I have something else that I have to do right now. And then that stresses me out. And then my break is actually not a break. It's just like me just stressed out about everything else. And then it's just like not a productive break. So it needs to be a productive break. So you have to have intention when you're taking that break, and you have to know that, like, okay, I made the decision of taking a break. I'm just going to fully commit. And then I think that's the only way to actually feel relieved and, like, I don't know, feel a little bit better going back into work. Like, what were you thinking?
yeah, that's very true, actually. So I took this course at UBC. Maybe many people know it, Nursing 180, right? So it's stress management. Yeah. So I really like that course. So I think I took it last term that I was at UBC. So it talks about a lot of these things, how to cope with stress, how to, at the moment, leave at moment, like if you're stressed, what to do. So a couple of things that I learned related to health and wellness. Box breathing really helps. Do you guys know that?
No.
So it's like a square breathing. So just, it's like on one of the angles, you should like count to 4. So like inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then keep it in for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep it in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you want to do it?
Let's all
Yeah.
Let's
it's really
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Everyone at home, join us.
Okay, I'll count. Okay, inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep it in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep it in. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do that for like 3 seconds, 2 seconds, or well, that really helps if you're really stressed physically, like you don't know what to do. That's what I find really useful. Another thing, and I'm gonna pass it to you then. Another thing is making your muscles kind of tense and then releasing it. That physically makes you feel really better. So if you don't know what to do, you're just so stressed physically, and it's really affecting your mental health as well. Maybe you can start doing this, and then you can think about, okay, if I need a break, what I can do to be productive and stuff. So yeah, take Nursing 180. It's not sponsored by them, but I really like them. Yeah. Any tips by you? What do you do?
The other day I was tweaking off a monster and it was so bad. Like I started overthinking. I couldn't do my work. And like just for 6 hours, I was just looking at like my computer doing absolutely nothing, just overthinking. And I just went to the gym and it cleared everything up. But like you just have to burn out all like the caffeine, all the energy. And once you get back to work, your head is just so clear.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really recommend the gym.
No, I think that's really good to like shake it off.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we harbor a lot of our stress in our bodies, and like we're like sitting for so many hours on end. Like it's really good to like stand up and once in a while, or like just look around, go outside, get some fresh air. I really like the breathing thing. I feel like even before a test, when I'm like feeling so overwhelmed, like my chest is kind of tight, I do like to just remind myself to breathe.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that we don't think about a lot, and like being able to consciously breathe and be intentional with it really helps like just like bring the stress levels down, especially before like a really stressful event like a midterm or an exam. Definitely breathe. Like I like to write on my cheat sheets. If I have a cheat sheet, I like to write breathe.
Really? Wow,
Yeah, just
that's
like
yeah.
breathe. It's really, really helpful.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, we do sometimes forget to breathe, I think. Or not literally, but like forget to like stop and take a breath. That was not the right way to put that, but I hope you knew what I meant.
Yeah, I know that you're on the mental health working group. Is there anything that you know on at UBC that students can use to like help with like support resources or like well-being? Is there anything that science students can, or students in general?
Absolutely. This is a great question. I'm so glad you asked. So there's a lot of resources. If we start with just general wellness, there's peer support, which is in the Nest, and they're open for drop-in, and you can go in and talk with a trained peer about whatever you're feeling. There's a wellness center as well. They offer similar services. There's also the UBC counseling services. And through that, you can book an appointment either with a wellness advisor who will set you up with a counselor who you will see for about 3 to 4 weeks. So that's a more regular thing. Or the service that I really like is they offer same-day appointments with a counselor, and that's a one-time thing. And I've had moments when I'm feeling so overwhelmed or so stressed, and I just like book that appointment and I talk it out, and I'm back to being good. And it's the similar service with students in residence. They do have counselors in residence, and it's often quite a quick turnaround for that as well. So you can get that when you really need it. In terms of, excuse me, in terms of like medical related stuff, there's student health services, and unfortunately the wait list for student psychiatry is about 8 months, give or take. And for seeing even just a general physician, it is about 1 or 2 months. So for that, we recommend the Access and Assessment Center, where you can call in, talk to a clinician, usually a couple hours wait list, not if you call in the morning at 8 a.m., and they can set you up much quicker with a psychiatrist, which I know is something lots of people need. And you can refer to our upcoming questionnaire platform for more information about that. I know that was a lot of talking, a lot of like dumping resources.
No, yeah, that's perfect. That's something I really need to, and I'm really glad that UBC offers all of that.
Yeah, I didn't even know of some of that, so thank you so much for enlightening me. I know some of my friends and I, like, sometimes it's really hard to like fall asleep because you're like so overwhelmed with all the stress. Is there like any tips that you guys have, or like personal experiences that have helped you to like wind down after a really stressful day?
So for me, I think what I talked about before, for me, getting physically tired is really important. So like if I'm overwhelmed, I try to like do a quick exercise, go to gym. Like I get physically tired, and then that at least helps me kind of to get enough sleep. I I personally sleep really well. That's not something I struggled so much with. But yeah, for me, it's just a physical activity mostly. And then being on top of things, not having so much to think about for the next day, that also really helps. And I think that becomes natural to you when you are like further in your studies, like third year, fourth year. I was also struggling in my first year and second year. So yeah, we've all been there. But that's about me. Do you fall asleep easily?
Recently I've been going to sleep pretty late, which is something I need to work on. Not too late, but you know. I usually like to read before I go to sleep. I think that gets my mind off of school, and it's also I'm not like staring at a screen, and blue light is bad for falling asleep. So that's something I recommend for you guys to try.
No, I really like what you said, Parisa, about like the tasks, like just being on top of your day. How I like to do it is like I like to make tasks for every little thing. So like if I like I don't know, like finish a quick reading of an announcement that a professor made, I can put that on my Google Calendar on my tasks, and then I can check it off, and I feel like that gives me a lot of like motivation to continue going. It's always important to like start doing the little things, and then slowly you would have enough motivation to continue on. I feel like it's always like starting it that's really hard. So I feel like starting that task and then like actually going through with it, like just by like the little things that you break the task down in, like, oh, I just want to write an introductory sentence, like, and then you do that and you just feel so proud of yourself. So I feel like that's how I like to like finish the things that I want to do for the day. And like sometimes I like to block off my days for like specific courses and be like, oh, this is a biology day, okay, this is a chemistry day. Yeah, I feel like that's the only way it works.
You're very efficient in using the Google Calendar, right?
Calendar is my life. Thank you so much for the creation of it.
I should actually say it's different between different people. You like to like track down everything, right? Even little things. But like for someone like me, I like Google Calendar, but like if I put too much on there, even if it's like small task, I'm like, oh my God, I have so much to do. Yeah. So it's like that mentality, right? I think everyone should find their like sweet spot where they feel comfortable, what they feel comfortable using. So it's not a like true or wrong thing. It's not black and white. It's always something to learn and like learn to kind of like evolve when you're doing your studies, kind of. There's a Persian saying, I'm Persian, there's a Persian saying that they say, swallow the frog, like right away. So like eating a frog it's really hard, right? But if you have to do it, just do it. Swallow the frog the first thing in the morning. And yeah, I always say that like to my friends, and they're like, But if you have something to do, as you said, getting it started just makes everything easier. Yeah. What about you? You've been quiet.
I am not very good in that. And do y'all have like procrastination tips actually? Because I struggle with that so much.
I find going somewhere to study really helps me instead of being at home. I procrastinate a lot by cleaning, which is, the worst thing, but like I'll have like a midterm the next day, and that's when I decide to like deep clean my kitchen. It's not exactly the best timing, but I love going to cafes and libraries, and my massive spreadsheet study spots definitely helps with that. So I think that's my biggest tip.
Yeah, I might actually start one of those spreadsheets. You've inspired me. Yeah. I think like with procrastination, it's a really tricky thing. I like to give myself prizes at the end of the day. So like I like to stay on campus until I'm done all my schoolwork, and then at home I get to like watch a show or watch an episode of something and like cook myself some yummy dinner. So that's how I do it. I'm like, I want to leave the nest at like this time because I will slowly go insane. So like that's how I motivate myself to like actually get things done. And then like at the end of the day when I'm back home, which is why I can't study at home, when I'm back home, then I get to like unwind and like watch my show, like just relax, do nothing. It's always really nice. So I think just looking forward to that reward is really nice. Yeah, you guys were talking a lot about gym. I'm not that much of a physical person. How do you recommend someone to get into it? Because I do know that like physical well-being is like really important to like mental well-being and just like also just physical healthiness. So do you go to the gym, Sophie?
I do go to the gym. I go to Gold's, and I actually started going in first year. That like month when we had classes online. I guess you were here for that. You guys weren't here yet. And I was like kind of in my room all day, and I wasn't really talking to anyone, and I was like, wow, this is not great for my mental well-being. So I decided to get a membership at Gold's. The campus gyms are also great as well. I just preferred it because I lived like closer to there at the time, and there were those lineups for the campus gyms. So I decided that's what I wanted to do. And getting into it, I think going with a friend would be a good thing who knows what they're doing. Somebody who's like a gym bro. And I also had some like really cheap sessions with a personal trainer when I was first doing it, and that was also super helpful because I kind of got a hang of it before I like it's I know it can be so intimidating going into it, but everybody's super friendly. Nobody's judging you. Just keep that in mind. Everybody had to start somewhere, but now I love it. It's a fun thing to do. Gets my energy out after classes, and I've been going there for quite a while, so there's a bit of a community. So highly recommend
That's
starting
so nice.
that.
I think the biggest daunting thing that prevents me from going to the gym is like knowing how to use the equipment. Like sometimes I would go with my friends and they would teach me, but then I wouldn't want to like go and experiment with like certain equipments. So like, do you guys have any resources on that? Like just like people on like TikTok or like social media that like shows you how to use the equipment? Because like it is a little bit embarrassing for me, just like struggling to like even know how to work the machine. So like,
I think with what you said, it's just the best to be with people who've already like had experience going to the gym and everything, because they could show you up close in comparison to like TikToks. And because like with TikToks, they might also not know if you have anything like debilitating in your body that you can't like, there's certain things that you can't do. But when you're a friend who knows you well, they'll really accommodate to you and really teach you. And yeah, I think that's the best source of advice and information.
But of course, at UBC, there are so many clubs. There's so many options that you can try. And they all have, like, instructors. And because the clubs, they usually have smaller size classes, it's really nice to go there. You can find like-minded people as well. And I really like that. That's a way to meet people, especially if you're here as an, international student or anything.
I would like to mention, as a gym goer, please don't feel afraid to ask anybody else in the gym to show you how to use equipment. I always love showing people because I was in their shoes, and trust me, I've embarrassed myself so many times at the gym, like being clueless about what to do. Or ask the staff. They're all super friendly. People who go to the gym are usually passionate about it, so they'll take any opportunity to talk someone's ear off.
yeah, so like talking about clubs, like other than like maybe even sports clubs, like what are some things that you guys like to do that is like that enhances your social well-being like on campus?
I really like some of the events put on by the Blank Final Project. It's like a music club, and they have lots of live music, which is super nice to go to and see. That's probably my favorite thing. And there's also the surf club and the skiing board, and they both put on trips every year, so going on those is a great way to meet new people, and it's super fun to ski and snowboard and surf. I think those are my main things. The jazz club also has a bunch of events. Yeah, I think those are my main clubs that I'm sort of involved with.
All right, thank you so much for giving us such a insightful perspective on your experience with co-op and just being a student, being able to socialize on campus. And that's about it. Thank you so much for tuning in to SUSpisode episode 3, and thank you so much to Himbor for sponsoring today's episode.
Stay sus
with us!
Yay!
Good news! We found a clip of Parisa and Sophia putting their picture on the SUSpisode Lecture Hall of Fame, and I guess we'll just cut to that right now. Awesome! Thank you so much. That's a great view from your seat.